To read.
So will the October meeting together with the president's pledge?
It's all good.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Mr. Robs is not here tonight. We start the meeting off with recognition of guests. If there's anyone who would like to address council, now would be the time. Please state your name and address when you stand up, if you do. Nancy.
My name's Nancy Schley. I live at 6810 Grant Drive, and I'm just here to publicly thank the village for their help with our part of the Labor Day car show. He let us use the back room of the old fire station. We collect treasures from all over town for the yard sale, and we have that week to price things and get organized. And then Dave and his crew come early Labor Day morning, a couple guys in a pickup truck, and they help us move it all from the fire station over into the churchyard. And he moved the tables down into the churchyard so people had a place to sit when they were eating. And the Women's Fellowship at the church made over $4,600 that day. And we give it all away. It goes to the Lodi Food Pantry, Feeding Medina County, Battered Women's Shelter. We provide scholarships for kiddos at our preschool who are unable to pay. This is kind of an interesting sidelight. Last year, a dad lost his job, and so the little guy was being taken out of preschool. So we paid for his tuition, which is $900 for the year. This year, he wrote us a check and paid it back. So anyhow, thanks very much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyone else want to address council? No one? Okay, we'll move on. Can I have a motion to accept council minutes from September 5?
So
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to pay the bills? Any additions, Debbie?
no additions.
Any questions on the bills? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same. BPA bills are there for your information. Motion to accept the fiscal officer's monthly financial reports.
So moved.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving to old business, resolution 2023-8, a resolution authorizing advertising of the village on the village website. Debbie, would you explain what this is?
Aaron might be.
Aaron?
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
So we mentioned this in the September meeting, a simplification of the notice requirements. So notices that have previously been required to be notified on through the Gazette, typically, I believe, can be made through the website, the village website. So to opt in to that statute, which actually goes official today, we needed the resolution. So the resolution just reflects an intention going forward to provide public notice via the village website. And in the event the village established social media, an official social media channel, I think Debbie's really itching to get a Twitter feed for the village. But if such a thing were to ever be created in the future, that would be the other place that notices would be made. So
Are we covering Twitter in this resolution as well?
it includes a reference to any future official social media. So we don't, because we don't have one, we won't be using that. We'll just be using the website at first.
But we're ready.
But once we have our first millennial majority village council, I'm sure they'll get right on it. So
Is there a time figure, so to speak, that these need to be posted up for some 24 hours or? longer.
It would certainly, yeah, you would, I mean, just like a meeting notice prior to a meeting, it'd be the same notice length requirements.
Okay.
The difference is, I think for the meeting, for the resolution notices, those went in, they had to go in consecutive weeks, I think, after
Right,
it passed.
right.
So I think as a general rule, and I guess we haven't talked logistics about it, but as a general rule, you're not going to be running out of space. It might just be a good best practice to just leave those things up there.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Any questions? Can I have a motion to suspend the rules? All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
so moved. Second.
Any more questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving to new business. Item 1, employ Joseph Peak Jr. as a maintenance person at the rate of $20 an hour, and he has already started. And so can I have a motion and a second to formalize that employment?
So move.
Any questions for Dave? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 2, Barbara DeZur contacted me about the solar eclipse. I guess April 8th. And I guess their understanding is there's going to be many people, they figure, coming to Medina because it's at the sphincter or whatever of the center of the eclipse. And she wondered if anybody from the village council was interested in being on that committee. They have a meeting on October 13th. Any interest on anybody's part?
I could probably end up going. I see Barbara a lot with the city anyways. I'm on the city's economic development committee. So
That'd
I'm
be
sure there'd be
great.
some overlap.
Would you make contact with her? She
Absolutely.
wants your email address and you obviously know Barbara, so.
Thank you.
Good, yes.
Absolutely.
I think it's good we have participation in that, especially with many people we have next door potentially, and they may be doing something as well.
Okay, okay. It is a big deal, I understand.
Mayor,
I,
just as a note, EMA, County EMA has already been talking about this. They started talking about this event last year and they've been planning for it. I guess in other areas, it's really from a first responder standpoint and resources standpoint, it's really taxing on the areas that are involved in it. So there'll be future planning from the standpoint of the sheriff's office and EMA going forward to this as well. County or parks and any place that people can gather, usually in other places have been really congested with campers and sightseers and the whole 9 yards.
I understand this committee that Julie's going to be on is to do some planning as to how to deal with some of the different aspects of what is going to be descending on Medina, so.
Right.
And my understanding is EMA is going to be at that meeting as well. So it is going to, that's kind of the rollout of a joint effort to have a kind of coordinated response. So.
Will be my next call. Or you'll be there.
If there's any trouble, we'll know who to turn to, Joey. Item 3. We received 2 grants. One from the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission, $50,000, and one from the Mental Health Addiction Services Commission. It was to upgrade the room in the firehouse. It was to be matched. It had a lot to do with ADA and such, but anyhow, we sat down. Well, I guess it was Dave and Debbie and Rick and I and Jason and talk about putting it into effect. And as we talked, we knew there was a potential of at least 20 and up to 37,000 for the match. But as we sat there and talked, Dave indicated that there's only baseboard heating on the sides there that barely keep it warm, so there'd have to be new air conditioning and heating units put on the roof and run in there. And just off the top of his head, he thought another 35,000. You get put in a lock system, probably have to put in some refrigerator and such, and fix up the area to the back where you can prepare or have food or whatever back there. Anyhow, the whole thing got kind of expensive. And then we also were then faced with some language here that was required to take the 50,000, that one. And it basically says that once you do this and take this money, you can never sell that place or anything like that without their permission, and to show that you've used this 50,000 somewhere other place that's acceptable to them, which is a deal killer. I think it's a deal killer. I could just read it to you here. The project sponsor shall not assign, transfer, pledge, or otherwise encumber all or any part of the facility, including the cultural project, with any mortgage, security interest, or lien, nor shall the project sponsor dispose of any part of the facility, including the cultural project, without replacement or substitution with improvements substantially similar to those of the cultural project provided for herein, without the prior written consent of the commission, which consent shall not be unreasonably withheld. So who's ever sitting at the desk at the time somebody would want, the village would say, want to sell this or knock it down or whatever.
It sounds like not even sell, if we decided it wasn't gonna, we weren't gonna use it for that.
Purpose.
We had to use it for that purpose, or we'd have to build something else.
You use that money for
Similar.
something cultural somewhere else.
We'd have to we'd have to duplicate what we already had.
So, and this, and it isn't that anybody was asleep at the switch. We didn't get this till after we got the project. This was an after comings. So I talked to Jason about, and he talked to both entities and who have said that it won't be a big black mark on us giving us money back, because I know it's never good to give money that's been awarded to you back. But he said that he's talked to both of them, and they said the only thing they would like is a letter from the mayor explaining that we can't do that this time, and they'll not hold that against us, so to speak. So with that, I'd like to have a motion and a second to decline these two projects.
So
More questions, more discussion. Any?
what, are we able to do anything over there? I mean, what are we just gonna, it's gonna
Out of our
continue to
own
be our storage for now, for the,
Well, it's being used very well by David. So just that we can't use that, make
So nothing-
use of that
so-
other area for another use.
okay, so I mean, the whole idea was a resource for the community. So the card players and if we need them, they're just gonna have to use this, continue to use this.
Yeah, and you know, those card players, they come here every Monday, and I can't imagine they'd ever want to switch. I mean, they come in here, it's so comfortable, and I mean, it's just a comfortable room, and they like it here. So they might if the time came, but I don't know if they would or not.
Now we've got $3,000 or $4,000 worth of vehicle equipment in there. And that's not going to be changed. I think the only thing that would change would be if there comes a time we need to do some additional revenues, that would just be something the village would pick up. Doesn't mean we can't ever update the place.
Oh, no,
We can't
oh, no.
use this
Well,
money
we-
there.
And in fact,
Exactly right. You know, we can go, we can make it ADA compliant and use it for what we had hoped to use it for at any time in the future. We're just gonna have to do it on our time.
Yeah, and hopefully when we've got some funds to do
If-
it.
if
Right
our
now,
financial
we don't,
situation strengthens,
right now,
we
we-
might be in a position to do that.
There are also might the other grants out there that we
It
can apply for that might.
be less
Yeah.
restrictive.
Just not this
Exactly.
app.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jason, is it common for grants of this type to come with such, for lack of a better term, for all these restrictions? I mean, shouldn't those be part of the grant application
Yeah,
process?
you would think you know what you're signing into. These are both Ohio budget grants that I don't have a lot of experience with. So I don't know if that's common with these specific ones, but with everything else, with the infrastructure grants, that's nowhere, nothing like that. You usually know right up front what you're signing, you know.
So this one's a little bit of a flyer.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to know if it came out due to how people were starting to use.
for any
it.
reason, yeah.
Right. Or maybe it came up after.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but we have other options down the road.
Uh,
I think we have to vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 4, 2023-11, a resolution authorizing the fiscal officer to establish funds. Debbie, would that be?
This is just a bookkeeping ordinance to track the funds for the Westfield Center Woods project. For the,
Oh, okay, the Woods project, okay. Any questions for Debbie on that? Motion to suspend? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
So, second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 5, resolution 2023-9, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as established by the Medina County Budget Commission. Motion to suspend.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
Second.
I don't think there'd be any questions on that, but are there any, fire them away? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? They establish them and you. Halloween. I need more information here.
I thought maybe Chief Hall could speak to that, but it doesn't look like he's here tonight.
I can speak to it.
Okay.
It's 6 to 8 or 6:30 to 8 will be the actual trick or treating. And we're gonna start at 6 o'clock at the station like we always do, or always have done. Cider and donuts and coffee, I believe. And then at 6:30, we'll sound the air horn or whatever they've done in the past to trigger the start of trick or treat. But we're also gonna do a trunk or treat at the station for anybody that's interested in doing that.
6:30 to 8. What was the date again?
October 31st.
31st, okay. Any questions for Dave?
That trunk or treat, does that start at 6 or 6:30?
6 o'clock.
6, okay,
We're gonna do that 6 to 8.
okay.
We got an additional resolution, item 7, and to add, that would be a resolution 2023-10. And it's to allow ODOT to put up new signage on 224. And you might ask, why is that for us? It's because even though 224, we have no authority there, we do own a sizable section of that up in there, so along the way. So this is to allow them to perform what they need to do. So can I have a motion and a second to approve that?
Suspended?
This just, do we have to? We probably have to
should,
suspend it.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
okay, excuse me. Thank you, Terry. Motion to suspend? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's all the older new business I have. Anybody have anything in older new at this point? Moving to reports. Engineers report.
Just a quick update on the sewer lining project. We have an updated schedule. We're gonna advertise the October 17th. And with the 4-week window, and we should have a council approval on December 5th. So we'll be awarding that at December's council. And then the Greenwich Road Slope Stabilization Project, we're still working with SNME and ODOT to get the prime proposal ready, but that's expected for the November council. And I just want to remind everyone that we're going to apply for OPWC funds to cover the cost of that, or most of the cost.
Jason,
That will be it, but
just validating the dates that are in this under your notes. Fall of 2023,
which one?
on your project fact sheet,
Okay.
under notes, first line there. Is that 23 or 24?
Oh, no, that's still, they could, yeah, that's gonna be 24. Now, that's actually, I should change that. That was, I wrote that a long time ago. Actually, the window for construction is gonna be from end of January all the way to November of next year. If you look at this proposed
Yeah,
schedule, we're
okay.
providing a huge window so we can get, invite more bids.
And,
So yeah, that shouldn't say fall at all. Just-
okay, and then the construction estimate is from 2020?
No, the original one was from 2020. That's. We originally requested this 121,000 as an 80-20 split, but it's actually gonna be a little bit less in our favor because the estimate went up since we've requested it. Because we requested it way back in 2020, and now it's gonna be 2024 numbers. So I just put that in there to like, if anyone wanted to know why we were paying more than 20%. We had a very similar project, in the spring in Carding, which is just south of here, so we use numbers from that to kind of get a good idea of what the numbers are gonna come in at. So we're still safe, conservative with our estimate.
And they were using a similar
Very similar.
footage.
Any other questions for, other questions for Jason? Thank you. Police report.
Police report for September. We had 3 reports, 7 calls for service, 4 officer initiated calls for a total of 11. We had no crashes in the village. We had 25 officer generated citizens assists, 9 vacation watches for a total of 34. We had 1 assist to the Westfield Fire Department, 3 to the Medina Sheriff's Office, 1 to the State Highway Patrol, 3 to the Seville Police Department, 2 to Lodi Police Department. We had 1 other assist to other agencies. That was the company OFIC on an incident they had. We had 2 traffic stops, 1 criminal arrest. I guess I should mention the criminal arrest was an OBI that Paul had here at the post office. We were notified by Wadsworth Court that subject's vehicle is subject to forfeiture upon this conviction of this case. So we're going to move forward with seizing that vehicle, and it'll eventually, when the case is disposed of, the court will title it to the village and we can sell it at auction. Doesn't have a lien on it. It's not worth a tremendous amount of money, but something that we could fund that keeps this guy off the street. He's a long time offender. We had 3 written warnings and 3 citations.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you. Fire department, Dave.
As you can see, we have a new report that, excuse me, that we've come up with to save us time. It's taken a lot of time to generate the old report, going back through when county and each individual call, and we came up with a way to actually be able to do this. And we think this has all the information that we had before, plus a little bit of information. I'll kind of go through the format on it. If you have any questions or comments or things that we could add or might help you better, let us know so that we can see if we can make that happen. We had a total of 54 incidents in the month of September. And as you go down on the first page of the incident count by district is 3 to Guilford Township, 3 were in Harrisville, 2 were in Lodi Village, 4 in Seville Village, 39 in Westfield Township, and 5 within Westfield Village. And then to the right is broken down for our staffing. So it shows how many calls we had from 8 AM to 8 PM, and then also 8 PM to 8 AM. So that it shows the difference in those. At the bottom of the first page is mutual aid received. 8 times from Seville, once from Lodi, and once from Canaan Township, for a total of 10 times we received mutual aid. And we provided mutual aid 10 times, 3 of them to Lodi and 7 of them to Seville. And we had a total of 30 EMS calls, 7 MVAs, 17 fire calls. And that pie graph just kind of shows the breakdown of the percentage of the number of calls that we had for each type. And the September billing, we billed for $18,356 for EMS in September. We have not been paid anything for cost recovery. We had 18 residents and 9 non-residents. And we have not missed any calls for service to date. Grants, we've been awarded grants from the Ohio Ambulance Transportation Program grant of $20,000 and the Ohio EMS Equipment grant of $3,279. The association agreed to purchase $5,200 in Milwaukee battery operated tools, hand tools, as well as new vehicle stabilization kit for the engine to be used with vehicles on their side or to help stabilize them a little bit better when we go inside. As far as membership, the interview committee and Chief Hall and myself have completed interviews with 7 potential candidates. They'll move on to background checks at the sheriff's office. It's the next step in the process. Community, we are done messing with hydrants for the year. The testing is all completed. Our annual clam bake will be October 21st from 4 to 7:30. I do have tickets. They're also available on our webpage and our Facebook page. They can be purchased there, and we'll be participating in the Halloween event as we talked about earlier.
It's wonderful improvement.
Like it?
In the reporting.
Really nice.
Very nice document.
Good. If there's anything that you would, if anybody thinks that could be tweaked or whatever, let Chief Hall or myself know, and we'll do what we can to make those changes.
There's a real completeness to it, yes. Very
And
good.
it's more cut and dry, actually.
Sound easier to read.
And we give the township the same report, so.
Thank you. Mr. Pittsburgh.
September's report processed 3.77 million gallons of wastewater. The monthly reports with EPA, performed all the required and operational testing and all the routine equipment maintenance. Here at Village Hall, we just performed general maintenance. In the streets, equipment maintenance, mowed all the village properties, continued to do nuisance animal control, and assisted with the car show. We had no activity at the cemeteries. We're still setting up ball fields for fall ball, but that's going to be coming to a close pretty quick. And zoning, they issued a couple of permits and performed inspections.
Questions for Dave? Okay. Mayor's report, the only thing I have in there is the Medina County Step Up Commission, October 30th. They're going to have a Zoom meeting for those of you who are interested in the alcohol, drug addiction, and mental health services board and some of their activities. I received a notification on that. I put it in there for your interest. If you, I think you can just tune into that if you want to. So I have a law director.
No, nothing else to report.
Okay, council comments, concerns. Mr. Bittner.
Nothing.
No comment? Comment?
We're gearing up the tree lighting committees
Okay.
beginning on Monday, and also wanted to thank OHM and Jason, who contacted the mayor that they are interested in helping support a community event. And they are going to be forwarding a check to you, Debbie, and really thank Jason and OHM for helping us this year.
They took the initiative to send us a email that they wanted to be part of our community activities, and
Yeah.
immediately called Val, and I don't think she wasted any time. So,
The phone was hot after you called.
so,
Yeah.
thanks,
really.
Jason,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
anything else, Val?
That's it.
Okay, Julie,
Nothing to.
Mr. Oakes,
I have nothing other than a reminder to Madam Clerk that I'll be absent next month.
okay, Mr. Walker. Okay, next regular meeting is 7 PM Wednesday, November 8th. We are going to have an executive session for the purpose of employment of personnel. And so I'd like a motion and a second and a roll call to go into executive session.
Second.
Bittner,
Aye.
Conick,
Aye.
McNabb.
Aye.
Oakes,
Aye.
Walkup. Okay, motion passes.
Okay,